Do you have the radio edit of Rage Against the Machine's Killing in the Name? The one where they took out the words, "Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," because the record company told them they had to?
Yeah, left them to the back.
Thanks.
Everyone on the block might be pretty impressed you're a rock star, but not God. Like, he gives a shit about your platinum disc, your goddamn Grammy, the ice around your neck. There's an earthquake in goddamn Turkey to deal with. Kids are dying in Iraq. Satan's flying around trying to possess people. Like, he has time for your crap. He hasn't heard your record, he hasn't seen your video, and you can put his name on the door, but he's not turning up to your goddamn concert. Nope. Even if you're a big-time celebrity, the only way to impress God is to put in a bit of elbow grease at the theological coalface like every other Joey six-pack. For example, Larry Graham may have redefined funk with his bass playing for Sly and the Family Stone, but far from being an inaccessible rock star, you might actually meet him on your doorstep, because he's a Jehovah's Witness who will proudly tell you that to this day he goes door to door spreading the word and handing out copies of the religion's Watchtower magazine. God's told Jehovah's Witnesses door knocking is a basic tenet of the faith. No exceptions just because you're famous. Now, Larry Graham turning up on your doorstep may not be that odd. I mean, what the heck does he look like anyway? But I ask you to consider something else. Larry Graham has been working with Prince on recent projects. He's been playing with Prince's new Power Generation band, and Prince has opened up his Paisley Park studios for Larry to rekindle his old Graham Central Station project. And what has come of this collaboration? Well, according to Associated Press, May 26, 2001, Prince has crossed over to Larry's faith, the Jehovah's Witnesses. So if you get a ring on the doorbell, you be careful to check exactly who it is before opening up.
What the hell is that?
I cut myself.
You didn't get a blood transfusion, did you?
No.
As it is taught in Leviticus 17:11, no blood transfusion.
I didn't get a blood transfusion.
Revelation 14:3, only 144,000 will be sanctified in heaven. A little slip up like a blood transfusion, and you're fucked. I don't care what your story is. I don't care if you're a skinny man in France dying of a big disease with a little name. No blood transfusion.
I didn't get a blood transfusion.
As it is said in Acts 10:39, what the hell are you wearing that for? Christ died on an outstretched pole. He didn't die on a cross. Thus a witness does not wear a crucifix.
Right. So you can wear that artist formerly known as symbol, but I can't wear a crucifix.
Matthew 25:1. And the Lord brought before him of the 5 virgins and the lamb.
Hello, you sexy mama. Listen up, 'cause I've come over to touch you where you ain't never been touched by the church of Jehovah. We're in the final days, Revelation 6:8 and Matthew 24. So get that fine ass away from Satan and come to Kingdom Hall. Could I interest you in a watchtower? Could I thrust in your face this hot dog power? You're my little Bible virgin, now it's time to fly. Please run me 60 eyes across this watchtower. If you're feeling hot and sweaty, that's the coming Armageddon.
So, just take one of these and have a look, and we'll come back about the same time next week and tell you more about the secret to eternal life.
Did you know, in his Oxford Union speech, Michael Jackson spoke of wearing a fat suit, wig, beard and glasses when door-knocking for the witnesses as a celebrity child?
He knows the inner secrets of the music industry, but for fear of retribution, he must hide his identity. He is the music mole. Mr. Mole, I keep on hearing that you can be in a band that sells tons of records, but unless you've also written the songs, you're pretty much screwed financially.
That's correct, John.
Well, how does that work?
Well, let's just say a songwriter sells enough records to earn $10,000 in songwriting royalties. Around $3,000 of this goes to your music publisher, but you still get $7,000 in your pocket. But if a performer sells enough records to earn $10,000 in performance royalties, guess how much Johnny gets to keep?
I have no idea, Mr. Mole.
Probably none.
None. How can that possibly make any sense?
Well, before a performer sees a cent, you have to pay back through your royalties the total cost of producing the album and half the cost of producing the music video. In Australia, with an album costing anywhere between $50,000 and $100,000 and a music video costing up to $40,000, you can see, John, that's one hell of a debt to pay, which is why, John, you want songwriting royalties.
Because songwriting royalties go straight into your bank account without you having to pay off any debts beforehand.
Exactly, John.
Man, poor Scandalous, all that, and they also have their hex to deal with.
It's a shame.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mole.
Thank you, John.
You've got quite the social conscience, don't you? Every Friday I see you outside the Nike store waving your placard proclaiming stop the sweatshop exploitation. Every Saturday I see you surfing on top of a train, spray painting S11 equals M1 equals O3, screaming equal pay for third world women. Then every Sunday I see you training in a paramilitary camp in Sudan, ready to take down US capitalism in an elaborate and ingenious terrorism campaign, hissing through your teeth, stop the exploitation. Oh, you've got time to stand up for every minority group in the universe. Except for one. Laugh, will you? You think BARDOT and the other generations of pop stars are expendable human beings worthy of naught but scorn? If they smash their complimentary Volkswagen Beetles, do they not bleed? If one of their gold records drops on their foot, do they not say ouch? And while we're on the subject, did they get to keep those Volkswagen Beetles? And for all those gold records, did they really get anything in their bank accounts? In fact, considering the mullah pop stars made for the TV station and the production company, did Katie, Sophie, Daniela, Jason, Simon, and all the other singing, dancing boys and girls out there at the pop star coalface get a cut of the action that reflected the show's success? I know their well-being doesn't concern you. But Allah faith no more when the guy with the spiky hair was lead singer. I care a lot. Popstars is now a worldwide franchise, but it all started only a few short years ago in New Zealand, with True Bliss being the first cab off the rank, just before BARDOT. I spoke to former True Bliss member Erica Tokash, who now has a record deal with Sony, as well as fronting New Zealand's top-rating music show, Ready to Roll. Hello Erica, how are you?
Hello, good John, how are you?
Good. Now how big was True Bliss?
Probably along the same lines of what BARDOT and Scandalous were. It's pretty much exactly the same, except it was only marketed in New Zealand, so huge, massive.
Did you know much about the music industry before you got into True Bliss?
We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, and really we were told everything on a need-to-know basis, so long as we were unaware of what was going on, they could get away with whatever the hell they wanted to.
Now how did you go in the charts?
Well, our first single was debuted at number 1 and stayed there for a couple of weeks, and our album did exactly the same thing, and the rest of them got into the top 5.
So you got album royalties?
There wasn't really much to be made from us, from our perspective, because we didn't actually write the music, so obviously all the recording royalties were going to somebody else. So we got a performance royalty, and that was it. And
so you got thousands of dollars? Hundreds of dollars?
Oh, good God. Oh, hundreds of dollars, yeah. Not the thousands, no. Probably earned about as much as someone who works at a supermarket, so there you go.
So how successful was your tour?
My understanding is we probably grossed about $1 million out of our tour, and we saw basically jack all of that.
And were there any other sources of income for the band?
There was merchandising was the other area we were going to be making our money in, and we don't know where that money went. But they made a lot of money on it.
But what about the perks? I mean, you're always turning up to openings in the most glamorous outfits. Did you get to keep the clothes?
No, of course not. We never got to keep the clothes we wore.
So do people assume you made a lot of money because you're part of the pop star's success story?
Of course. People still think that. And I think, the public illusion is that if you're famous, you are rolling in it. And I think that's just a Hollywood perception.
So you met BARDOT when they came down to New Zealand. What did they tell you about the whole experience?
They were at the happy stage that we were at about 6 months previous to meeting them. So I think they were riding on their cloud nine of success and everything's fine and happy and, and we were at that stage about 6 months previous to that. So I kind of thought, when this goes down, girls, it's not going to be nice.
Does a pop star really only earn as much as a checkout chick? I spoke to Melbourne Herald Sun music writer Cameron Adams.
When Katie Underwood from BARDOT left, what did she tell you about the whole experience?
She did say to me that she was unhappy about money and she hadn't earned any money from BARDOT per se during her time in the band, and one of the reasons she left to do hair was to make some bucks.
So who makes money out of the whole thing?
Money's being made, it's just a matter of where's it going out to. Screen Time, who's the company that thought of pop stars, still take a cut apparently out of all the pop stars' earnings. So there's a management cut, then a Screen Time cut, then whatever's left gets siphoned between how many debts they've got and then the band at the end of the day.
So pop stars have to pay back the expenses they incur?
There's a lot of hidden costs that the public don't realise that these bands are incurring, and they've got to, before they make any money, these debts have got to be paid off. So they'll make a little money to live off each week, but anything else that they're making through the BARDOT machine or the Scandalous machine goes towards the greater debt of all these limos and videos and expenses. These videos cost a lot of money. Like there's the BARDOT one rumoured to cost $250,000, which is a lot of money to repay for a band who don't write their own songs. So they've got to hopefully sell a lot of records to pay that kind of money back.
So basically the problem is if you're a pop star, you're going to make a lot of money, but not for you.
Yeah, that's probably an escape for life, I would say. But I guess they're doing what they want to do, living the dream. It's just a matter of, whether they'll get paid at the end of the day, which is why I was saying before about them writing songs there. I think if they write some songs and they'll get a bit of cut of the publishing. I think BARDOT have wised up in the last year, looking at their bank balances, that, we better do something about this.
So despite a TV show making you look really successful and glamorous, there seems to be at least 3 major reasons why ultimately you're going to starve to death being a pop star. Firstly, unlike every other band in Australia who can choose to be prudent with their expenses, the pop stars are forced to produce a really expensive debut video so they look successful for the TV show, and they're going to find it really difficult to ever earn enough royalties to pay off that debt. Secondly, other pop acts like Kylie and Britney are allowed to write lyrics so they can get songwriting royalties. Television pop stars are not given this option. They have to sing what they're given. Thus, from the starting block, they are denied the only way you can really make any money as a recording artist. And thirdly, unlike every other band in Australia who get to shop around and choose a manager to represent their interests, the pop stars are assigned one by the TV show. An independent manager would no doubt advise them to pen a few lyrics and maybe film a cheaper, crappier debut video. While I can live with small Asian kids with humps sewing up my Nikes, I'm drawing the line at this. It's clearly time to form the Pop Stars and Miscellaneous Union to protect their rights. I've drawn up a log of claims to take to a big union man to make it all official-like.
Simon, today we form the Pop Stars and Miscellaneous Union. You have the documents there, the log of claims that we're asking to apply to any future pop star's workplace.
So I think this first log of claims that actually gives the pop stars the opportunity to write a song and have that included on the album is right on the money. And the second one, the production of these videos is very expensive, especially the way Channel 7 wants to do it. So they should be given a choice, a crappy video or get Channel 7 to pay for the lot. Now the third one is, I think the pop stars and all of these groups, they ought to be able to keep the free stuff. I mean, keep the car, keep the clothes. They're made to look good, they've worn them, who else is going to take that? And finally, Medicare, cover all the electroshock therapy required from the psychological failure. Heroes 1 minute, forgotten the next, and they've got to live with it for the next 20 years in their life. So Medicare also on the money. Good logger claims. Well, I wouldn't mind negotiating this for them.
With the Popstars and Miscellaneous Union officially formed, it was time to head on down to Trades Hall Council for a rousing rendition of Billy Bragg's Power in a Union.
There's a power in the factory, oh yeah. There's a power in the land, but it all amounts to nothing if together we don't stand. There's a power in the union, yeah.
The lessons are the past, we are cleaning workers' blood. Mistakes are the bosses we must pay for. From the city to the farmland to the trench full of mud, there's a power in a union.
The union forever defending our rights down.
With the black flag,
all workers unite.
Brothers and sisters from many far of land.
There's power.
In the union. How can I along the morning if they don't realize brutal and unjust laws cannot defeat us? But who defend the workers when they cannot organize? When the bosses send their lackers out to cheat us. All money speaks money and the devil on its own. Who comes to speak for the skin and bone? A comfort to the widow and a life to the child. The power of the union.
The union forever defending our rights down.
with the black flag.
All workers unite.
Brothers and sisters, together we will stand.
There's power.
There is power in the union.
The union forever defending our rights down.
With the black flag.
All workers unite.
Brothers and sisters, together we will stand.
There is power.
There is power in the union.
There is power.
I was looking at a copy of NSYNC Celebrity and I couldn't help but note just how not attractive nearly every member of the band is. And I don't mean in some subjective, hey, I don't dig that boy band look in general type of way. I mean, NSYNC don't even tick the basic boxes of shallow boy band attractiveness. Take a look at this. Okay, Justin Timberlake's okay, and this guy, you know, whatever. Then you get to these two who, if you shoot them in black and white behind some shadow, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but not me. And then we get to Joey for Tony. From what viewpoint? From what perspective? In which parallel universe is this guy good looking enough to be in a boy band? Tell me there aren't 17 people living in your block of flats better looking than him. And don't give me this skin deep shit. He doesn't even write any of the songs. If you're in a boy band and you're not good looking, what are you? And don't they know it? In the video clip he gets about 2 seconds of airtime, usually hidden behind a pillar or shot from some arty angle to gloss over his ungodliness. Even on the cover they hide him behind these two guys. And in this shot they hide him behind this guy's knee. Look at this. Look at it. Under what master plan of God does this guy get to be in a boy band, getting driven around in a Silver Ghost Rolls Royce, smoking a fat cigar in front of a fireplace, stoking the flames with wads of $100 bills, swimming around in a caviar-filled jacuzzi with hoochie mamas, whilst you're out stacking shelves for Kmart? Don't tell me. It's not his looks. He brings other things to the band. He doesn't write the songs. He can't dance that well. He can't sing any better than if your voice was put through a reverb unit. How did he slip through the net? Tell me you don't see 8,000 people in the street every day better looking than Joey for Tony. Tell me I couldn't walk down any street right now and just the first guy I randomly bump into wouldn't be more attractive and thus more deserving of being in a boy band than Joey for Tony. Who's better looking, Joey for Tony or that guy?
That guy.
That guy. Definitely that guy.
That guy, definitely.
Definitely that guy. nicer hair, nicer face shape, you know, better skin.
He's got a funny chin.
Okay then.
He's definitely better looking.
Definitely that guy.
He's got like really fat face.
That guy there. Definitely that guy.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah, definitely that guy.
Wow.
That guy. That guy.
Oh, this guy here, definitely.
Who's better looking, Joey Fatone or that guy?
Definitely that guy. Without a doubt.
Now you're going to say we tricked this, and surely there is someone somewhere in the world not better looking than Joey Fatone. Well, you're wrong. And to prove it, we're asking you to take part in this world-exclusive Joey Fatone interactive television experiment. Now bring your face up close to the TV screen until you can see your reflection in the white dotted line. You see, even you have more right to be in sync than that phony, that fraud, that abomination, Joey Fatone. India, a land of opposites, where the peace that so eludes its people can be found in the harmonies and melodies of the country's rich musical tapestry. Dr. Jordania.
Thank you, John. Traditionally, sitar's origins, traditionally in India, are connected with the name of the Amir Khusru, and that's about 1300. Most of the musicologists believe that sitar came out from the Iranian setar, which means 3 strings. Well, it's George Harrison who actually made sitar so familiar with the broader listening audience of the Western, from the Western countries.
Thank you, Dr. Jordania.
Thank you.
And now to demonstrate the instruments of India, we have the Titanics, which set the controls for the heart of the sun.
I listen to myself, it could be anything, it could be anything that I'm after. I turn the radio on, I got no time to waste, counting down to my lucky numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now the damage is done. Ooh. I look into myself, it could be anything, it could be anything that I'm after. I turn the radio on, it got no time to waste. I'm counting down through my lucky numbers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now the damage is done. Set the controls for the heart of the sun. Ooh, wow, wow. Ooh, wow, wow. Ooh, wow, wow. Ooh, wow, wow, wow. Set the controls for the heart of the sun.